How many COVID jabs are available today? In the UK, Spikevax, formerly Moderna COVID-19 vaccine on Gov.uk. Pfizer BioNTech Comirnaty COVID-19 vaccine on Gov.uk. Which COVID booster should I get? Adults and kids aged 6 months and older can get either an updated Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. The CDC recommends either of these vaccines for boosters. Can you still get a COVID jab? From Friday, 15th December 2023, the National Booking System, NHS app and 119 phone service will be closed for flu and COVID-19 vaccination booking. After this date and until 30th January 24, you can book COVID-19 vaccination directly with a local vaccination service, such as pharmacy, or visit a walk-in site. Why has AstraZeneca stopped? After more than 3 billion doses, the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID vaccine is being withdrawn. AstraZeneca said it was incredibly proud of the vaccine, but it had made a commercial decision. It said the rise of new coronavirus variants meant demand had shifted to the newer updated vaccines. That's nice. What are the 3 types of COVID jabs? 1. Messenger RNA, mRNA vaccine. This type of vaccine gives your cells instructions for how to make the S protein found on the surface of the COVID-19 virus. Number 2, vector vaccine. Number 3, a protein subunit vaccine. Am I fully vaccinated? People are considered fully vaccinated for COVID-19 2 weeks or more after they have received a second dose in a 2-dose series, Pfizer, BioNTech, or Moderna, or other vaccine authorized by the World Health Organization, or 2 weeks or more after they have received a single-dose vaccine, Johnson & Johnson, etc. Which is better, Pfizer or Moderna bivalent booster? Pfizer. Is there a best mRNA vaccine? Both of the mRNA vaccines available in the US are highly effective against severe COVID-19, but recent studies suggest that Moderna's elicit a stronger immune response and might be better at preventing breakthrough infections. Do I need to get my COVID vaccine every year? They also help strengthen your protection against the virus, which is important as protection lessens over time. Everyone should stay up to date with their vaccines. For most people, that means getting just one updated 2023 to 2024 vaccine dose. How much do private COVID jab cost? A number of high street chemists and private clinics sell and administer the Pfizer COVID vaccine directly to the public. The cost varies from about £49 to £99. You need to be aged 12 or above and must not have had a COVID vaccine in the previous 3 months. What are the side effects of the newest COVID vaccines? Common side effects include pain at the injection site, fever, body aches, and headaches. What is the safest COVID vaccine? The Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are strongly recommended as safe and effective at preventing serious illness or death from COVID-19. What are the side effects of COVID vaccine on the heart? According to CDC, there is a minor risk of myocarditis, inflammation of the heart muscle, and pericarditis, inflammation of the outer lining of the heart, in adolescents and young adults after receiving the COVID-19 vaccines. How long does spike protein stay in the body? The UCSF research team examined blood samples from 171 infected people and found the COVID spike protein was still present up to 14 months after injection in some people. The antigens were found more often in people who were hospitalized with COVID or who reported being very sick but were not hospitalized. So what does it mean to be fully vaccinated? When you have received all recommended doses of COVID-19 vaccines. But this definition of fully vaccinated depends on the country, region, or organization setting the standard. What medications should be avoided before COVID-19? Aspirin, antihistamines, or acetaminophen should not be used before getting vaccinated. Is booster the same as the vaccine? A booster is given when a person has completed the vaccine series and the immunity protection against the virus begins to decrease with time, as data has shown, Sandy said. The additional doses are strictly to improve the immunity response of those moderately to severely immunocompromised individuals. Is COVID vaccine free in the UK? The NHS offers a free vaccine in the autumn for those who are more likely to become seriously ill. How much did the COVID vaccine cost the NHS? 2.9 million. The UK government has worked quickly to secure potential vaccines, successfully signing deals for 5 vaccines providing up to 267 million doses at an expected cost of 2.9 billion. What are the side effects of the 5th COVID booster? Headache, muscle pain, and swelling at the injection site. Which has worse side effects, Pfizer or Moderna? This finding is consistent with prior evidence that adverse effects are more frequent in patients who receive the Moderna vaccine than those in receiving the Pfizer vaccine. What are the worst COVID vaccine effects? Possible side effects: injection site tenderness, fatigue, headache, muscle pain. Rare cases of myocarditis and pericarditis. 6 cases in 440,000 participants in the clinical trial, and rare severe allergic reactions. Will the COVID vaccine have long-term side effects? Vaccines rarely cause any long-term side effects. If you're concerned about side effects, safety data on COVID-19 vaccines is reported to a national program called the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System in the US. This data is available to the public. Which COVID vaccine was recalled? The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, as well as the Food and Drug Administration, recommended providers pause on administering the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines after more than 6.8 million in the United States received the one-dose vaccine. Has AstraZeneca had been banned in the UK? No, the UK government stopped using AstraZeneca vaccine. Yes, it has been banned. In winter 21, in May 24, AstraZeneca withdrew the vaccine now called Vaxzevria from sale in other countries. Is there a new COVID variant? KP2, KP3, and LB1 are descended from JN1. JN1 variant is antigenetically distinct from the XBB.1.5 variant, which is the current target of monovalent COVID-19 vaccines. Why are there so many heart attacks after COVID? After you recover, you may be at higher risk of a heart attack or heart failure. This is often because of inflammation from your body's response to the COVID-19 injection. Oh. Inflammation from my body's response to the COVID-19 injection may make me at a higher risk of having a heart attack or a heart failure. Oh. Can you get a trial of fibrillation after COVID vaccine? Oh, not really. Only 5 per million COVID-19 vaccine doses administered. A total of 523.12 million COVID-19 vaccine doses were administered. What does the beginning of myocarditis feel like? Fatigued, short of breath, chest pain, and sensation of heart racing. People with myocarditis in more advanced stages may show symptoms of heart failure. Which vaccines last a lifetime? Some viruses are relatively huge, while others are tiny in comparison. Some use RNA, while others use DNA. They're very, very different organisms. Yancey said that for vaccines that last a lifetime, which include vaccines for measles or hepatitis B, the viruses themselves tend to be uniform when they replicate. How do you know if you have spike protein? Your spike protein antibody results will be reported as a reference range above or equal to 0.8 unit per milliliter. How many doses of COVID vaccines should I have? 1 dose of the 24 to 25 Novavax vaccine unless you are receiving a COVID-19 vaccine for the very first time. If you have never received any COVID-19 vaccine and you choose to get Novavax, you need 2 doses of 24-25 Novavax COVID-19 vaccine to be up to date. Are there any drugs that interfere? We know that, pain reducing. Right? What medication should you not take with COVID? Oops. What's going on then? Do you know what? I've had enough of this. We know what we have to do. We've just got to go and see our doctors. But information on the internet, it just makes me really confused. Good job I've had all my jabs and all my boosters. It's scary, isn't it? What's coming next?